Welcome to Abnormal Truth, everyone. I hope you're doing okay today. Thank you for clicking in. Doing a video today on how I see the world being controlled by Satanists. And this is only a conclusion I came to around the first of the year, so my faith has been renewed. But if you are not a religious person, believe me, this video is still for you. I am only going to be talking about how I see Satanists controlling the world. And so, I'm not going to be quoting scripture and trying to, get you to believe in God or anything, although I wish you would. But I think even if you're an atheist, you need to know that our leaders are most of them are Satanists, and they're doing things in the open now. And it used to be so subtle that I looked past them, because Christians have been telling us for a long time, or have been saying that all these things are happening, and there are people in power that are Satanists, and all these things are going on, and I could not see it until recently, basically, because they are just coming out with it and doing public displays of Satanism. And it finally got to the point where my eyes were open enough to see it all happening. And so what I'm going to do in this video is just talk about some of the events and some of the things that you can see that have happened, that eventually all of them put together made me realize that we are living in a spiritual realm, and Satan does have control of the earth right now, and that's okay in a way, because that's what the Lord's will is. And there's all a plan for that, as all the Christians know. And so it's scary and it's exciting at the same time, because I really do not see how we're not living in the end times. Like the ramping up of the end times are pretty much here. And so, I want to talk about some halfway current events and things that have been happening in the public. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show all the hand signs that celebrities and politicians are doing. And I used to roll my eyes a little bit at those, but at some point I saw so many celebrities and so many politicians doing like the same three hand signs, that you cannot just look over that. And it's good evidence of this is happening right in your face, and they do it in public. And so that's why the hand signals are important. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of pictures at the end there and talk about some of the hand signs. But I know there's a lot of work being done on that, but I'm just giving this as these are all the things that made me realize and made me look at, hey, wow, the rulers of the world are definitely into Satan. What's going on here? It's almost like as the world's getting less religious, our leaders are getting more satanic. And I saw that, and I started looking into all these different things, and some of it I'd looked into a long time ago, but it just didn't click. And so some of the things we have happening is like Madonna. She did a Illuminati ritual in the 2012 Super Bowl, and most people thought, well, that's just like an Egyptian themed show she's putting on. But I'll show you later on how the Egyptian all-seeing eye is satanic. And here's Lady Gaga dressing up as Baphomet in several different outfits walking around. Baphomet. There's the Temple of Baal. This is Baal. This is something that has happened pretty recently. And the Temple of Baal got destroyed by ISIS in 2015. And 2,000 years ago, this temple, I think it was since then used as a church, but its beginnings was a temple of Baal, and he was a god of orgies and child sacrifice. And so children were actually burned in that temple, and orgies were performed, rituals were performed. That is not a holy building and should not be celebrated in any way. And what did the powers that be want to do? The Satanists that are everywhere in power, they wanted to put the freaking arch of Baal in New York and one in London. And when people protested against it, and this is how bad they really wanted this up, instead of just saying, okay, the people don't want it, let's don't mess with it, they said, well, we're going to put up the Arch of Triumph instead. Okay? Now, the difference is the Arch of Baal was the arch in front of the actual temple. The Arch of Triumph is what you're looking at on your screen right now. And not this one, that's the one in London, but the one before was the Arch of Triumph, and it led to the Temple of Baal. So it's basically the same thing. They just made a compromise. And although the people of London did not want this evil representation in their city, there were, I guess, enough Satanists up in the politicians and the movers and the swingers and people that make things happen there. They got it pushed through, and they did it anyway, against the will of the people. Why? Because they're Satanists. There were Satanists that got that done. Why else? There was a large group of people that did not want it there, and thank goodness they didn't get it done in New York yet. So they're putting up the Satanic Temple has gotten a statue of Baphomet in Detroit put up. And there it is. And what they're doing is they're going to these state buildings and saying, all right, guys, we're going to sue y'all if you don't take down the Ten Commandments. You can leave the Ten Commandments up if you let us put our statue up beside it. So the states have to decide whether to take the Ten Commandments down or allow this statue to be beside it. And so evidently Detroit decided on this. That's a hard decision. Now this is important. This is a satanic temple. This is basically a devil worshipping church. You can tell by looking at it. Now look, there's the all-seeing eye and a triangle. Okay, that should prove to you right there without even really having to do any research that is tied in with Satanism. That all-seeing eye and the triangle, just like on the back of your dollar bill, that is a satanic symbol. So when you see celebrities wearing that Egyptian stuff and doing the all-seeing eye sign, yeah, that's what it is about. Now this is the Gotthard tunnel in Switzerland that they just finished. And what's going on here is they had a ceremony, and you would think it would all be hot dogs and fireworks and puppy dogs, but no, the people of Switzerland got this. This is some kind of druid satanic dance thing that they did, and they did an indoor ceremony and an outdoor ceremony. And this is not something the Swiss people ordered or wanted. This is the powers that be gave people the authority to organize this whole thing and put it on. Okay? And Why? Because there's Satanists running the planet. And here's Baphomet again. And I'm seeing him over and over and over. They are trying to put his image everywhere they can, guys. It is at this rate, in 5 years, he's going to be on posters and T-shirts and on billboards everywhere. I'm starting to see him a lot, so that is very, very concerning. And yeah, that's just something you start seeing over and over again. And there he is again, guys. This is the outdoors part of the ceremony. Gotthard Tunnel. Now you can go on YouTube. A lot of people have done work on this. This is something that's out there big time. And you can go and look and see and watch the video, and people will show you how really satanic this whole like ritual was. And they do rituals in public in front of the unsuspecting public, and they believe it gives the ritual more power. So that's another thing that you see that's going on that just could not have been allowed any other way besides the Satanists that were in power there. Now, say what you want to about Alex Jones. I don't care. I'm not a big, huge fan of Alex Jones, but I will give him something. He busted into Bohemian Grove all those years back and actually filmed them doing a ceremony here. And why is that important? Because Bohemian Grove is attended by the nation's most powerful male members of society. The Bushes have gone here. Arnold Schwarzenegger has been there. Lots of famous people have gone here, and that's because they're a part of the club. And a lot of them say that they didn't even want to be there. It's just that they had to. But there's a lot of debauchery that goes on here. It's called the Bohemian Grove. There's there's been a ton of cocaine snorted here, homosexuality, but what Alex Jones caught on video was a ceremony. And I don't know, you can't really tell it in this picture, but in the middle there, that is a huge statue of an owl, and it is depicting the deity Moloch. And they do a child sacrifice there, and they say it is a mock sacrifice. But isn't that interesting that the Temple of Baal did child sacrifices, and they burned not just killed them with a knife, but they burned them, and that's what they're doing mock ceremonies here of. And so even if you don't believe in all that really, and you're in the club, you were still there and a part of this ceremony. And so that's, say what you want about Alex Jones, but he gave me my first glimpse into maybe our leaders are into that kind of thing and really open that whole thing up. Now, this is just the hand signs, but look into it, because you'll just see almost every major celebrity and personality doing these like 3 hand signs, or 4 at the most. But it's like, that's how they're in the club. And you probably won't be a major celebrity unless you are in the club, and that's why you see them all doing it. And this is something that you'll see in these pictures. I put some very old ones in there for you to see. This is not some new fad the youngsters are doing these days. This is to pay homage. And I bet that if they don't do it, they are told to do it in some of their pictures. And what's weird is you can tell it's the same kind of signs that they're doing with little variations. Now you see how John Lennon there is doing the devil horns? That is actually a satanic symbol that they got you to believe that it wasn't. But you can see famous Satanists doing the devil horn sign. That's the all-seeing eye. That's the devil horns. I've seen so many presidents do the devil horns. That's the all-seeing eye because he's just covering up his eye, Bono. There's Williams doing the all-seeing eye, his version. There's another president. That's not the Longhorns. That's Satan. And there you go, 666. Way back in the day. Yep, he was in the club. Jackson talked about how the Illuminati did control the music industry. There's our president doing a double whammy. There's another all-seeing eye back in the day. And there's Paul doing it. See? And that's another sign too. I guess that's of the triangle. And see how she's all Egyptian looking with her haircut and all that, doing that all-seeing eye? He's doing a 666 with an all-seeing eye, so I guess he was really wanting a movie or something. There's Oprah. So you see, guys, the hand signs, are just important because they show you how big this is, because they think they were all doing it in secret and we wouldn't notice anything, but that means they're a part of the club. And they have to do horrible things in these meetings and gatherings to keep their celebrities, but these people have all sold out to be celebrities, so never be jealous of them, because I'm sure that torments a lot of them at night. See you guys next time.